Inalienable Right Guys back again.
And remember, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, with certain inalienable rights that are endowed by,
you know, the thing.
The thing.
Well, I forgot to say something in the last video. We got us a new background, so we're going to try to get a few more things. So we moving on up.
Finally getting our piece of the pie.
I knew that'd get you.
Beans don't burn on the grill.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we're working on it slowly but surely. We're going to get some new stuff. I think we're going to try to get some microphones. I know that's one of the things a couple of people have commented that kind of hard to hear sometimes. So we're going to work on that. But we'll just keep going and see where this takes us. As I said in previous videos, subscribe if you want. Don't subscribe. It's we try to be free country. Try to have a free country. So do what you want to do.
That's right. Live and let live.
We appreciate those that do. Anyway, one of the things that I wanted to bring up this time is, of course, we're right in the middle of this election, and I just don't understand. If you look at the mainstream media, you look at all the polls, and they have Biden up by however many percent, and then you look out at all the videos and all the not so much news articles, but if you go to the to the secondary news, because the mainstream news ain't gonna carry it, and you see all the Trump rallies and all the boat rallies and all this other stuff, and every time you see a Biden rally, it's like a dozen people.
I
just don't. How can they? How can and some people have talked about it, the enthusiasm gap between Biden and Trump. You see all these things going on and all these people. And I'm sure there are areas where there's more Biden folks at, obviously, but still, you just don't see. You don't see it, and I'm just like, how can it be? One thing I'll bring up, I saw it today. Elizabeth Warren had a pro-Biden rally somewhere. It had like 10 people. I'm just like, really? How can they say this guy is ahead and he's winning and all this?
Again, got to travel the country too, because I did a little traveling this weekend, and I actually seen billboards. Literal billboards. Trump country, Trump county, Trump, and then every neighborhood, just all up and down, the Trump. But then I look over and I might turn off in a little old neighborhood, and there's a little Biden and Harris sign under a tree somewhere. Just hiding Biden. That's what they call him. And but hiding Biden in the grass with Harris, But you're right, Mark. The polls are skewed, and they're attempting to squash or to douse the enthusiasm, but it's impossible when you have a rational mind or open eyes, a logical mind. You can look and see for yourself. And you go to alternative news instead of this propaganda media that we are.
Because I know the left out there would say, "Oh, you just watch Fox News all the time, don't you? You just Fox News supporter, aren't you?"
And be honest.
I watch sometimes, but that's not primarily where I get most of my news from.
Right.
So, yeah, like I said, if you look at all the support that's out there, it just doesn't make any sense. And then the mail-in ballot thing, that's another thing that's, they're making a big deal out of. And so I watched a video like 2-3 days ago where they were talking about how Democrats were leading in Pennsylvania. Well, then the very next day I see an article where 372,000 mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania have been rejected.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were duplicates or some other thing, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
Well, like in Harris County, I think near Houston, they I heard stories where they literally calling people and telling them how to vote and down ballot all on one side, the Democrats, or telling them how to do, and that's offensive. I mean, people say that they vote for civic reason. They vote because it's their constitutional rights, and they vote because that's their liberty and their freedom. But yet, everywhere I go, it seems like it's cheating. But it's still, as you saying, as far as the disparity in Trump and Biden, it's no doubt in my mind that votes all in the oceans and the seas, all Trump rallies, 30,000 vehicles. I mean, everywhere you go, stadiums. I saw something that was funny. They had a juxtaposition of a Biden rally and a Trump rally. It's on one of these alternative stations. When they had Biden, he had them little circles and about 8 people in there. One little Mexican guy was doing a little rap and they were playing some Latino music. I think it was in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And then over here,
was that the one with the mariachi band?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Vegas, I think.
Vegas, okay.
Yeah, it was in Nevada somewhere.
Yeah. And they put these two positions together. And I mean, again, the polls did that with Hillary, and they kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I did get discouraged in 2016.
Yeah.
Didn't see that turning out the way it did. But I'm not no ways discouraged now.
So one of the things that I just think it's silly. You see the Biden rallies or whatever, and he's up there, and then like you say, you got the little circles out there. Mm-hmm. I know that they're doing that because they want to try to show, the base that they're proactive about the whole COVID thing and all that. But at the same time, I'm thinking, it looks terrible, You got all this little deal. You don't have a group of people there that are hollering and screaming and, whereas you go to these, you look at these Trump rallies or whatever. I haven't been to one. We need to go to one. We need to find one to go to one. But yeah, it's like you see them and everybody's yelling and screaming and, they're all loving it. I know when he was still in Walter Reed Hospital, one of the alternative news stations I was watching, they were out there talking to all kinds and you seen all kinds of people out there. There was a whole group of people from India.
Diversity.
The diversity. I mean, and they're holding, Sikhs for Trump and all, I'm just like all this stuff. And they talked to this one lady and Hindu lady and she was like, just, Trump has done this, and this, and just, and it's like, wow. And you see all that, but then you see the Biden thing, and like I said, I know they're doing that for a reason, but at the same time, I'm just like, don't you know that looks bad?
Yeah, optics. The disparity in I hear in the media, it's bad propaganda-wise. UPS, what's that? UPN or whatever the news station is, but it comes on regular periodically after every segment of an hour's talk radio or something, and they keep talking about the disparity or the much money that Biden has raised. I mean, the Biden raising Trump 3-1, but you got probably one big old gazillionaire putting 90% of that in the pot. But at the same time, what puzzles me, if they pay for everything else, they pay for riots, they pay for, destruction. Well, they buy them a crap. Like you said about optics. Just buy it, take some of that money. What y'all gonna do with that? Cause you ain't gonna win, and buy you 10,000 people.
Yeah.
But they can't because them people that they had to pay, but they vicious. They gonna show them up. They be making them up fighting and cut, doing all kind of.
The people have said that, especially you get, people that were Bernie supporters and stuff want to come in there and they want to argue about whatever, climate change or whatever, they want to argue about it. And, but it's, like I say, it's the optics. It just looks silly.
It is. And you think, who's your campaign manager? I mean, do they consider these things? And it's like you said, we don't want to get away from the subject of how the polls been this way. I mean, I think recently Biden just come out, and then he go in the basement. I don't know when he gonna come out. I think they're getting him prepped for Thursday. I think it's the next debate.
Yeah, I think so.
It's Thursday night. And Trump, doing 3-4 cities.
Oh yeah, and going all over the place.
Right.
And having thousands of people show up and cars lined up for miles, and
right.
it's like,
and more people showing up at Biden. Trump people showing up at Biden rallies than.
Yeah.
You noticed that?
Yeah, there was one the other day where there's a whole bunch of them. They had them off on the other street, and they're all there 4 more years, 4 more years. And I mean, if I was Biden, I'd be just like, what in the heck is going on?
My question to you is that what is that intended for? Is that intended to fool Trump supporters, or intended to fool Biden supporters?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, because to me it just looks silly. You've got these people in in a big room, and they're all divided up and stuff, and I'm like, it shows no enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
You should have people there that are, having signs, and, you just don't see it.
Right. My dead giveaway, I guess when I realized that this was all media concocted and a farce, is that when the man's wife was out there campaigning for him. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
In my years. Saying, you go and shut in, and then you send your wife out on the campaign trail. I see them, husband and wife together on the campaign trail, but never seen a husband lead a campaign rally.
Yeah.
And while you go to bed, So this poll, yes, is skewed. And it's like I said, whatever we haven't come to a conclusion what the intentions of it is, but I'm not by no ways convinced that these 19-point leads and
No.
I mean any lead. I mean I saw that again in 2016. It I didn't have the understanding I have today, but it kind of discouraged me a little. But I'm not today. I ain't buying this one bit.
Yeah, I don't see it. And we can go down a whole another rabbit hole with the whole idea that like the whole 25th Amendment thing that Pelosi and them have been working on, that's intended for, if Biden gets elected, that they'll push him out and put Kamala in there as president.
Right, that's a good.
That's a whole other rabbit hole that could be brought up. That
they're setting up not just the 25th Amendment, but they also setting it up for contested election.
Yeah.
So if they keep pumping it into the mainstream mind that there's no way that Biden's supposed to be losing when he had these leads for this long length of time, and then when you come out and you're gonna see that the electoral college and that the United States map just blood red, with a couple of blue spots in the areas, and it really this is how they got to come out and win. They got to just come out and just steamroll it, because they are setting up for something. Even going back to what we was talking about with ACB, they trying to.
Well, and that's what makes that so important. Her nomination and all that, and being confirmed. Because if that goes to a contested court and it's divided, 4-4 without her being confirmed, then it's going to be
some irony,
complete chaos.
And this is the irony. This is funny here. Nancy talking about the 25th Amendment. If that was like that and she became the president, she'd be the first one removed. Because that woman is not right.
Yeah, because the Republicans are trying to do that anyway.
But
as it is.
She's not right, man. I don't know if you've seen that episode with her and Wolf Blitzer on the station.
Morning. Sunday morning.
And then she went off on him, and he finally, got a little courage to ask her some questions. With the
latest one,
Yeah, with the stimulus money.
Yeah.
And she, no offense, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're a Republican apologist. What? CNN?
Wolf been chewing us up and spitting us down. This is Wolf. This is Wolf in wolf clothing.
Like, you been watching CNN?
They say wolf in sheep clothing. This is Wolf in wolf clothing. He is who he is. He's been propagating that line, that polling line. He one of their biggest propagandists. But that's it. These people are really they really lost, man. Again, it goes back to what we was talking about the heartbeat of America and getting the pulse of America, and really knowing how we put a premium
Right.
on our liberties and our freedoms. I mean, I can't stress that enough.
Well, they call it the silent majority, and I really do think that the majority of Americans, whether they're Republican or Democrat, are a lot more centrist and aren't as divided as they really want us to be.
No.
That's the thing. But as far as the election, just like I said, there's just so much support out there. It seems to be so much more support, more enthusiasm for Trump than Biden, that it beggars belief.
Right.
That they can still say that he's and I'm not saying for sure one way or the other that's the way it's going to be. It just doesn't make any sense.
It don't. First of all, I don't know if I've ever been contacted for a poll. I might saw something online or something. But I'm real sensitive to that anyway. Even somebody try to text me and ask me something that who you vote for, what side you're on. I'm like, it's none of your business. So I believe it's a oversampling and a bunch of individuals out there that have probably been the silent majority, as you say, that probably been called, but they just hang up on them. It's none of their business.
Well, I was so glad today somebody put something on Facebook. Somebody posted something on Facebook about how to get the "Have you voted?" thing off of, because every time you get on there, have you voted? Have you voted? Have you voted? Are you going to vote? And somebody finally put on there how to get rid of that.
Well, I need to know that.
I tell you, after this is over, I was so glad. I told that person, I said, we're going to qualify you for sainthood for telling me how to put that off there. I'm so sick of looking at it.
And I think you used the right word. These people are sick because, they really think that they have, again, I like that you brought in the silent majority. They really think they have some kind of say-so over people's inalienable rights, if you will, over people's freedoms. And I caution people about that all the time. We can live in the same house or whatever. As you said in one video before this one, get out and vote. You ain't telling no one who to vote for. I ain't trying to tell you who to vote for. But we're going to tell you some sensible and comprehensive approaches towards what we believe and what we think. But this is one of our fundamental rights, is to vote. Yeah. And these polls are skewed, I tell you. And this is why they take it so hard. I think they shout in the streets and they tie their hair at their head and rend their clothes like like they do when they under Judaism, when they contrite and pour ashes on their head or whatever. Because they are, seriously, man, they are so, I don't want to sound dismissive, but I believe in everything I stand for. But at the same time, I want it to turn out the way we want. But I'm still gonna be fighting for America and my liberty, right, no matter how this turn out. You know what I mean? It ain't the be all end all for me. I know they say this is the most important election. I believe that, of our times. But I'm prepared to go on because we, men of faith. We,
exactly. We're gonna, continue to do what we got to do and fight for our rights, regardless of what happens.
That's exactly right.
So, all right, we'll go on to another segment.
Don't mind if we do.
Good.
And remember this: we are the Inalienable Right Guys. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created with certain inalienable rights and endowed
by the thing.
The thing. He's gonna keep belling me out.
You know the thing.
We want you to know what the thing is. Them liberals don't know what
the thing is, do they?